Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm Lawrence. I'm here with my cousin Nick, and back again is my brother Dave.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't say it.
Oh, what am I again?
Guest. You're the
mystery guest.
There it is. Hey.
Yeah.
I thought you would have said that for sure.
I forgot.
Imagine.
Yeah.
It's how long it's been since you've been here.
It's been a while.
It's all right. You're back. So it's okay. Anyway, so we have been gone, obviously, because Aurora Garino has been born.
Nice.
Yes.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yes. Yeah, very happy. She's beautiful. Everything healthy. Couldn't be happier. She's a good baby, too.
It's beautiful.
You know what I mean? She doesn't cry unless she's naked, which big fan of that. I tell her all the time, oh, I love that. Thank you. So,
why?
Because I want her to keep her clothes on.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So,
I get it.
You know, so I mean, we're teaching her young, but everything went good with Sarah. She's amazing. She's incredible.
How'd you do?
I did good.
Did you pass out?
No, of course not. I told you guys I wasn't going to pass out. No, I didn't. I was actually, I cut the cord. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was incredible. I peeked over at like the last second.
I told you not to do that.
Well, I wanted to just take a peek at it, you know, because she was already coming in. I was over in the back of her, so I was kind of like, you know what I mean, looking. So it wasn't so.
I do know what you mean.
I wasn't like an umpire, you know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean? In the
take
back, calling balls and strikes. You know. So it was great. She was incredible, and then I actually fell asleep, and I was sleeping in the chair because I was exhausted, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then it's kind of funny. It's not funny. She had the Jello legs from the freaking whatever it is, right? So she got up and she ended up falling. And then Laura, thank God Laura was there. So Laura was unbelievable. Very, very lucky. But yeah. So she was there, and she's like, she woke me up. She's like, Lawrence, get up, look, Sarah. And I'm like, I guess I woke up, saw Sarah on the ground, like sitting there. I started laughing, and then I went back to sleep. She's like
they were like, hey, check this out. Yeah. And then you go back to sleep.
Good one. You
guys are hilarious.
Yeah. So no, we everything went very, very good, and very happy. She's a good baby.
Congratulations. Buddy.
Yeah.
I'm proud. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
beautiful.
you. So I'm in the club. I'm in the dad gang.
Dad gang, dude.
You're in trouble.
Pretty pumped.
Yeah.
Pretty pumped. Anyway, so this is a little something that I've been, leaning to. Something called Something Smart. What do you think?
That's what you're rolling with?
Well, you guys want to keep coming with something pretty smart.
I got to be honest with you. You may not know this, but I'm a professional. At many subjects. I watch a lot of 5-minute clips on YouTube. So in my opinion, that brings me, I'm one shade below Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Wait a minute.
Everyone's a theoretical physicist.
Hey, I watched a 37-second video on time travel. Now I'm talking about it on
Who's
a podcast.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Lawrence, stop.
What?
You really don't know who he is?
No, you got to tell me what does he look like?
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find a
If
video.
you can bring me a picture, I'll
find a video.
I hope I know him the way you guys are talking about him because
You're going to know who he is.
I hope
There
so.
can be no time travel because.
Here we go. Hold on. Yeah, bring this up. I'm assuming they're going to show him. It says his name in it, so that this is not him. That is not Neil deGrasse.
No one from the future has ever shown up and said hi.
What
I know who that is.
There's no time
I
travel
didn't know him by name.
because the future person would then be coming to the past. We can travel into the future, however. Our understanding of that has been around since 1905, and it's Einstein's special theory of relativity. If I send you on a spaceship at speeds nearing the speed of light,
I'm interested
and we watch
in
you,
talking about
we will see that your clock ticks more slowly than our own. And then you come back, it's the famous twin.
Stop that for a second.
You send out your twin, they can come back.
So this is what I was trying to say earlier, that what if just the fact of just traveling at the speed of light affects the mechanics of the thing that's measuring time, which means the measurement is off.
Right.
But then that doesn't explain the twins, right?
It doesn't.
One twin versus the other twin. So again, back to the Newtonian physics versus particle physics. And go ahead.
Yeah.
What else was he saying?
I don't know. I never saw this before.
You aged 20 years, your twin would have aged only 10, depending on.
No,
the
I've
exact
heard this
speed.
theory
And so in
before.
that way, your twin went into the future. Now, you're right about the past. We don't know yet how to go into the past. There's some peculiar
Doc!
solutions of Einstein's
Here we go.
equations
Nice.
that allow past travel, but then you can't interact with your life. You're in sort of another place. Because imagine if you could interact with your own life, prevent your parents from meeting. Then you would never conceive. Then you could have never been sent back in time to prevent your parents from meeting.
I love that movie.
It's right. It literally
Is
Back to the Future is,
1, 2, and
you
3.
know, like I go back to that. It's right there in front of us. But
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
What was the last thing that Tyson just said? He was talking about the.
he was saying you don't.
Oh,
wanna
you can't interact or
in the
blah, blah,
past.
blah.
He said if you were able to travel back.
Well, that's much like the concept in Back to the Future that your parents,
Right.
you prevent your parents. That's actually a thought experiment from like the 3rd or the 50s or something. But the point is that if the back to how particles behave, whether there's an observer or not, do you see how that ties together with how many versions of a past, present, or future there might be? And
yeah, in
your
other
idea
words,
that
it's not like a timeline. It's
linear, right?
Linear.
It's not linear. It's
non-linear,
How
right.
we perceive it as linear is the amount of events happening at a certain time, or where we're moving in space, or how our brains concoct the passage of what seems like a series of events. Like again,
Like
a watch
Source
is
Code. You guys see Source Code?
no.
Jake
what is that?
Gyllenhaal.
I never heard of that.
Sick movie.
How old is that movie?
I don't know, but it's a good one.
I don't know it.
He was a war veteran pilot, and he died.
Yeah,
But like his body was mangled, but his brain was still intact, and his heart was still intact. Like so
Yeah.
they were able to put him in some kind of thing and send him. He only had like a 13-second window before an explosion would happen.
Oh yeah, and he had to keep resetting to try to
Find
oh, so it was Groundhog Day, basically.
basically.
except he got blown up at the end of the day. He didn't just go to bed, maybe sleep with the other girl from town.
So I mean, there's no
that
really.
was a great movie, The Groundhog Day.
Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know that I've seen one movie he's in.
Wow, that's a shame.
I don't know. I know he's pretty successful, right?
Well, even-
What was his biggest movie?
Southpaw. He did this new Roadhouse.
I have
Yeah.
something. I have something. I'm sorry. That's why I was that talks about the double slit experiment. It's what your brother Dave's talking about. Because I don't know if you know. So there's an experiment where they shoot protons.
Photons.
Photons. I apologize. Photons. Thank you, Dave.
Well, I suppose it doesn't matter. I'm just trying
It
to.
does matter. It does
Okay.
matter. Thank you. Anyway, they have two slits, and when they shoot the photons through the slits,
Yeah.
and don't watch them, they react one way, and when you watch them, they do something different.
More importantly, particles behave like particles and can only be in one place at a time if you're watching them. But if you're not watching them, they behave like a
Yeah, watch
wave
this-
where they have a number of places at one
Tell
time.
me when.
So they kind of like free range.
There's a number of possibilities
Now you can go now.
that appear to be represented as a wave rather than the individual particle. Now, if electrons, it was actually electrons that they shot through there.
Where the photons hit the second
Sorry,
for understanding. It involves a laser shooting beams of light particles called photons at a screen with two parallel slits. If we mark all the spots where the photons hit the second wall, we should expect to see two strips to correspond with the two slits. But that's not what we see. Instead, we see an alternating pattern of light and dark bands. This is characteristic of the behavior of waves that pass through both slits simultaneously, interfering with each other to create the pattern on the second screen. The bright lines are where the top of waves meet, resulting in a more intense or brighter area on the screen. The darker bands are where the top of one wave meets the bottom of another, so they cancel each other out, resulting in a less intense or darker area on the screen. Here is a photo of a real interference pattern. The original double slit experiment was conducted in 1801 by British polymath Thomas Young. Since then, it's been performed with various types of particles, including electrons, and they were found to behave in the same way. This phenomenon occurs even if the photons are fired one at a time, which suggests that the photon is interfering with itself as it passes through both slits at once. Physicists were so stumped that they decided to observe which slit the particle went through. And that's when things get really weird. When scientists used a measuring device to observe the slit that each photon passed through, the interference pattern disappeared, and the photons started behaving like particles.
The way we wanted
Instead
them.
of the spectrum of light and dark bands, we see two bright bands, indicating that the photons chose one slit or the other. So light can display characteristics of both particles and waves, known as wave-particle duality. It appears that light decides to behave as a wave.
So I know what.
That this exists.
Says who? I mean,
which slit it went through.
I'm talking about this experiment. This
oh,
theory.
nice. Oh, good.
Almost as if they were aware.
Well,
They were like,
since
This
See, the thing that blows my mind away with this whole thing is like, okay, how do they know they're being watched?
Objects only load when the player focuses
that
on
off.
or interacts with
You
them.
don't like the video game?
The
No, it's
entire
not
world
that.
isn't
It's-
rendered
here we
all
go.
at once.
Well, hold on.
No,
This part-
sure.
I want this
Gains
part for a
save
second.
Processing power and optimize resources. Likewise, light seems
We
to
missed the
behave
video
like
game analogy that made
Well,
it
go ahead.
for like people like me to understand it.
well, was it about possibilities?
I have no idea, dude. Never saw that video. I'm watching
Okay.
it with you.
So there was many experiments since then, and Einstein had some doubt and expressed it in a way that he said some. I forgot what the quote is, that quantum physics was spooky at a distance. Something to that effect was exactly his words, but he just dismissed it because all his work was based on Newtonian physics.
So how does this slit thing have anything to do with time travel, time, space?
Well, we must extrapolate.
I mean,
So if you get to the point where you
I
want,
thought we would have a hoverboard by now,
I agree.
and like flying cars. I'm not gonna lie.
So
We're gonna
if your consciousness is if those particles behave differently whether you witness them or not, then what does that tell you about a lot of things? I mean, you start there. If particles are
Everything's
at the
behaving
very
the way that they supposed to because you're watching them.
that's right.
Right.
So then reality has to depend on your consciousness.
Right.
And then what is your consciousness? Because science can't define what your consciousness is.
I was shocked by the thing with the experiment where they put the thing on the kid's bone and he was able to think and search Google. Have you seen this shit?
Yeah, there's a I
So
forgot
like
what
the
they call
voice
it.
in your head,
What?
he was using the voice in his head without saying anything out loud and fucking searching shit on Google. The guy was sitting there going, who was the president in the year 19 or 18, right? Whatever. And he was just like, and he was like in his mind thinking it, and the device was hearing his
Thoughts?
inner thought.
Yeah.
Well,
So how that's, I mean, your consciousness is, that's what I would call my consciousness, my inner thought, my inner self, right? That's your consciousness. You know what I'm trying to say?
in a sense, but then when you get into if we start dissecting mindfulness by like some disciplines such as Buddhism and other types of meditation itself, I mean, the practice of meditation is to separate yourself as the thinker and the observer. And so, you have thoughts that invade your consciousness while you're meditating and trying to have no thoughts and be in the present moment down to the instant. And It's a tough practice. It's hard. I don't know if you guys have tried to meditate.
No.
I have before.
Have you succeeded in
don't.
shutting your mind off?
know
Is the
any,
question.
Do you know anyone?
I do that
personally,
all
if
the
you-
time without doing that. I'm
That's
not
not
gonna
what I
lie.
mean.
During
Hey,
some of this conversation,
no, well-
it started happening to me. I was like, listen to what's going on right now.
I call this the
But all right, but so think
effect.
about that for a second. As far as how consciousness is defined, or how does it even make sense that molecules inside your skull and your gray matter and the neurological function of everything amounts to consciousness? How does science doesn't know that?
All kidding aside, my understanding of all these things, time, space, travel, Back to the Future.
Get your cousin Marvin. Marvin Berry.
Yeah, dude. I love that. Those movies are great. And I know, listen, and I don't mean to dumb down what you're saying right now, but it's all theories.
But I was just going to get to that. Like, even the most studied, the PhDs in physics, the most brilliant minds, they're guessing.
I know.
At all the theoretical physics is based on what might fit into an equation one way or another, but not the theoretical physics. The traditional physics is based on can you do the math, right? But the math doesn't matter if everything depends on the observer.
Yeah.
I don't know, buddy.
I don't know. Listen, I want you to know something. I'm doing this for the 70 people that watch this. Because it seems like everybody else knows what you guys are talking about but me. So I'm taking one for the team. The solar eclipse. Did anybody see it? Because I didn't.
I did see it.
How was it?
I thought it was pretty cool. It's my second one I've seen. I saw the other one in 2017.
I didn't remember the other one.
Yeah, 2017.
2017.
The next one
probably
won't be for the
working.
next 20 years.
Yeah. I'll catch that one.
Probably.
Did you see it, Dave?
No.
Oh, good.
Dave doesn't care about it.
I didn't really, I didn't. I
Did
looked,
it actually happen if I didn't witness it?
It did happen
in your
because I witnessed
perception
it.
of your alter
Hey, Dave.
universe.
It didn't happen because you weren't watching.
Well, I was outside, but I didn't have the correct glasses, so it didn't look like much. But
I
anyway,
did have the correct glasses. I had.
my mother bought them for me, but I didn't have them with me. So
I know. I had them with me.
And what was that like?
I showed
Boy,
you.
Ma didn't buy me any fucking glasses.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
So
Anyway.
it's funny, but like I was actually, people were talking like something weird was going to happen during the thing this time around for some reason.
Just, everyone thinks something weird's going to happen all the time.
What's so weird about us being positioned in a way that the moon covers the sun? What's weird about that?
Especially if you're trying to tell us that we're
Things.
moving.
Well, it's pretty
Right?
obvious that things are moving. Something's
So it
moving.
can't be a flat Earth then, right? Check that off your list.
I don't know. What if
Bing.
don't the flat Earth people
Nice.
think that,
Should I give it a little siren? No.
that the sun goes around us? I don't know anything about flat Earth. I couldn't tell you, specifically
When exactly?
when.
I bet.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just knew that it existed.
Yeah.
Read that somewhere.
Well, the Mayans figured a lot of shit out too.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
The Mayans.
Yeah.
They knew.
If we're talking about measuring time,
They knew that
The Mayans
when
are very important in
When the clock
that.
ran out in the year 2000,
see, that didn't really
your computer was going to
pan
break.
out.
The
No, it was
clock
a
on
big
your computer.
deal.
Except for a lot of
Hey,
consulting.
the clock on the computer was going to break. The Mayans knew.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Do you remember that?
No, it was 2012, wasn't it?
No, it was the year 2000.
Yeah,
the
it was
computer's
I know,
gonna
but
shut
then there was
down and
another prediction.
Y2K.
Y2K, dude.
They had a bunch of them.
Yes,
There's
there
a
was
bunch of
another
shit.
prediction that was 2112
Yeah,
or
2012. Yes,
20
yeah,
something.
yeah. And then they were like, maybe we got it wrong. Maybe it's 2021. And then that came and went. And
Or maybe it happened.
we're just living on a different timeline.
That's right.
We got knocked into a different.
Exactly.
Say it,
We're
dude.
not- don't go there.
Who
again,
was the
please.
me
guy
pull up
that
the
was that
10-year-old
knew
that
all
already
the
said
stuff?
all this.
Nostradamus, right? Remember? I mean, he's been wrong a couple of times now in a row, right?
He's been right a few times.
Yeah, but that was way before our time that he was right. Now, since we've been around, he's been wrong.
I don't know.
He has been wrong.
know everything.
What was that Soprano scene where they're sitting in a bar and he goes, well, Hakimoto predicted all this. No, Quasimodo.
Quasimodo. You know, I wish
The Hunchback of Nostradamus.
Yeah. So
Too bad they don't have a telephone for fuckface-itis, huh?
Let's see.
Nicholas,
Yeah,
you dream.
I do.
You create all kinds of scenarios in your mind. There's all kinds of realities. There's light bouncing off things just like you perceive them in reality.
Yeah.
Then you get up and you go to the kitchen and you have a glass of water.
Yeah.
Before you turn the light on in the kitchen, did all those things exist in the kitchen and
course
all
they
those
did, because
molecules
I've
were
walked-
arranged the same
Hey,
exact way
They were.
as
You know how
left them?
you know how I know?
How?
Because I've walked in the kitchen in the dark like this.
I can
And
see
then
in
the
the
shit's
dark.
there. The shit's there. The fridge is there.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I get what you're saying, but
Our perception of our reality depends on our senses, and light
I have been
is your
in environments
yeah.
without going too deep
Yeah.
where I can't see anything around me, but I can feel my way around.
Yeah,
Right.
and
And
things
in
are there.
places I've never been in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
So how
gotta
do
be
I
really-
know?
That's That's weird. That's weird.
Well,
Because I learned from fishing at nighttime because there's obviously no lights out there. Everything's lit by the moon. So you can't see, but you can see. And it's pretty fucking cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. It's pretty scary.
Yeah,
But
especially on
Gino's
a 20,
good.
a
So-
22-foot boat.
Yeah, but he's a beast. He gets in between all the other boats. He's nuts. He's nuts. And he gets you right on the fish, and then
Going
you're
out
catching
in the
fish.
ocean at night on a 22-foot boat.
oh,
But in familiar waters, he's been fishing here. For
Yeah,
years
no, he
and
knows
years
what
and
he's
years.
doing. I just
Yeah.
can't. I can't.
No, I know. Well, but he does it for money,
Right.
commercial. So, but anyway, that's why. Yeah. So for some reason, in the kitchen, no lights, or in the room, no lights.
I know. So the whole thing is hard for me to grasp because of that part of it. Like I can't get past the idea that we all see the same thing and how that's possible and why. If we could walk into a room we've never been in before, turn the light on, and all of it at the same time, you could ask, "What do you see?" And it's the same thing. You know, it's hard. It's hard for me to get past all that.
well, that's
And I
one of the
understand-
things that
I
I
understand.
don't
seeing
understand
that
what
double
is the
slit there.
question. That the stuff that's in the room is really in the room.
It's
no,
you know
it's
that-
whether it depends on your consciousness. And then if we're all seeing what he's saying is Nick's saying, if we all see the same thing, then how is it that my consciousness versus your consciousness, if we were both watching that double slit experiment,
and we saw
would
something
matter?
different, right? What if he sees something different from me? But we
I
see-
can't. Again,
I know,
Technically,
this is-
we
it's-
do.
hey,
this goes to the point where I'm like, why are you guys wasting your time asking these questions?
Because you're
because
not-
I'm not gonna lie. So this room, when you guys came in this room, it didn't look like this. And then I put all these lights up and all these
then,
things and moved all these cameras. So now it looks like
That's
this.
just an
This is
example
our
of what they're
reality.
trying to say.
Let
not-
me explain why.
Okay.
Because this gets to what the fabric of reality is. And what does that mean?
You
If
get up, you
you-
go to work, you come home, you,
Yeah.
you eat, you go take a shit, you go take a shower,
This
you
is
get in bed,
reality.
you watch TV, you
is
fall
reality.
asleep, probably not get enough of it.
Well,
have to
yeah,
wake
but
up and do it again.
these-
That's reality to me.
These are the burdens of substance you're describing. So let's say that
Well, then
you're,
I picked a bad game. I got put in a bad thing if that's what I have to do instead of just.
I know, right? That's the other part, and that's the other part. Like, so does that mean
I'm
I-
only kidding. I have a great life.
Does
I'm
that
very
mean
happy.
I could control things more if I could get past certain? You know, I mean, I know this.
what
is,
get to a higher understanding of what reality is?
Yeah, and that's what everybody's
that's my
trying
point.
to do. That's what everyone's trying to do.
Exactly.
Reality is what you make it.
Well, Lawrence was saying, why bother knowing? That's why you're trying to get a better understanding of things if you do have control over them or not. You know, you can.
What would Robert De Niro say to his son if his son asked him, went home, right, and said, "See, it was
Who,
a-
real Robert De Niro or,
no,
or the one in the movie?
no, the actor in the movie,
Right, because of the real Robert
I don't
De
want to
Niro
know.
is
I'm not talking about. I'm talking.
Oh, we're shitting on woke Robert
no,
De Niro.
no, we're not.
No,
no.
But we are not saying. I'm
right.
talking about the
woke.
character because I don't know him. I don't know how he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who he is. But I know the characters he's played, even though
Right.
that's not him. But I'm saying that character.
What would he say? You tell me,
He'd say,
because I.
he'd say, what's that guy's name? That guy Tyson.
Does Mickey Milton?
Yeah, does
Tyson?
Pay your bills.
Does Tyson
Neil
pay your
deGrasse
bills?
Tyson pay your bills. What the fuck are you
Not
wasting?
Tyson's Mickey Mantle.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I was lost.
You're
Right now.
wasting your time. Go get a job. Fucking beaten.
Well,
No,
yeah.
it's nice. It's nice.
It's not-
I'm
listen.
having a hard time learning oil burner technician stuff.
Well, you're a bit of a nihilist. You know what a nihilist is?
No, and that's part of the reason I'm having a hard time in school too,
Because
because I don't know a lot of words mean. Yeah, but I'll learn it.
You'll get it.
I know. I can definitely
don't
memorize
know
enough
why-
questions to pass any
you
test.
make a valid point that there's no point in trying to understand something that we're incapable of understanding.
Or
I did this
controlling.
for the listeners
Right.
because maybe some of them might know what you guys are talking about. Or
Nobody that watches this made it this far in this podcast.
I
You think everybody
It's
fell
possible.
asleep?
it's possible.
I don't know. But I was going back. Here's a video. Time is an illusion. Past, present, and future exist at the same
If
time.
you made it this far,
Anything
in
to
the
do with
comments,
what you-
write it. You made it.
Yeah, well, that's that it's nonlinear, but we can't perceive of it as nonlinear because you're not going to go home tonight and it's going to be 6 or 10 o'clock at night. And tomorrow you're going to wake up in the morning and the clock's going to be what you expect it to be. There's no way to define that with the limitations of what our consciousness actually is. As a matter of fact, how can we, being limited by what our consciousness is, understand our own consciousness?
Oh, let's see.
So that goes back to what Lawrence said. What are we talking about?
Right.
Talking about probably a bunch of
Shit
edits.
that doesn't matter.
Shit that doesn't matter.
No, it does matter that there's people that actually make a good living off of talking about this stuff.
Yeah, Neil
And
deGrasse Tyson.
And well, he, good for him, and that's good. And he might be right
Let's
about
see.
some stuff. He might
Stephen
be wrong
Hawking
about
made a
some
lot
stuff.
of money, really couldn't enjoy it. But
Listen,
bastard.
terrible. But you know what? I don't feel bad for him. You know why? Because what they said he did was terrible.
there was a movie about it.
Matt. No, I mean on Epstein Isle.
Oh, he was on Epstein Island?
Yeah, making them making small people.
Do you believe everything you fucking see? That's hilarious that you
Hey,
believe that.
I believe it, and I want to.
Did it happen if you didn't witness it?
Listen, I heard something, right? That how come the girl, the only person alive that they could have in jail, right? They have in jail, but yet not one single person that was at any of these places has been any charges brought against them. I heard something where they said that's why they, just like with Puffy's house, why they
Wait,
went
I
in
was
there.
going to say, wait till they get the Diddy list.
Well, that supposedly they went in there to get everything.
I don't understand. What was P-Diddy doing? They were saying
Who
he
knows?
No, he was saying that he got a lot of video and tape and evidence of people who are in the elitist Hollywood and everything else. I don't know. I mean, it's wild speculation. You know why? Because people will click on it.
Well, but here's the thing, right?
I refuse
If
to click on
it's
any of that.
about being like bisexual today, who cares?
Right.
If people
No,
were doing,
I don't. It's
Oh,
about
like it's
trafficking.
well, that's
trafficking
different.
children and shit.
That's a crime. But I'm saying people
Well, but-
that you know what I mean in the public eye might be heterosexual and then me doing some homosexual act. Why is that like blackmailable stuff?
Well, it's
It
not.
shouldn't-
But
not
it's
today. I'm
it's
just
of
saying.
interest to like the rap community and like these other like hip hop dudes who want to make a podcast about P Diddy being gay. Well, the point is,
Well, this all goes
trafficking
back to
has
the joke.
one definition.
Hold on, this
now.
all goes back to the joke. Would you suck a dick for $1 million cash?
$1 million? No.
Not
Oh, that's
today,
Pete
but
Davidson.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been questioned since you were a kid. That
Yeah.
joke, you know what I mean? But back
Yeah.
then, $1 million was a real lot of money. Now
The question
it's not.
is, would you admit it?
I don't know. I think-
Also, no.
Did it happen? If you didn't
Not if you
witness
didn't
it.
see it.
So, but trafficking now is not what everybody thinks. Just getting a bunch of little kids and hoarding them together and whoring them out. It's taking an underage girl over state lines is trafficking.
Yes.
yeah,
So
whatever it is, it should be punishable by death.
yeah, but
it's
imagine
a
you know
death
his
penalty.
lifestyle. Well, now that you have a daughter, right? His lifestyle.
At all.
I mean,
Sons,
he's been
daughters.
doing all kinds of crazy shit for fucking years. You know
Since
that
he was young,
Yeah,
which
I
he
mean-
was a kid too.
I'm sure he's gotten, like many other celebrities and whoever, I'm just speculating, get away with a lot of shit. And all of a sudden, if enough people turn on him.
You're in a gated community in a mansion, right?
It's
You can be wilding out and crazy
When you-
giving people drugs where they've passed out. I'm not saying that's what would happen.
I
but
don't
it's
know.
a possibility. Anything's possible. You know what I'm saying?
My God.
And nobody knows nothing because
Some of those videos are funny, though. Have you seen him talking to Fabulous or something like that?
some of them hilarious.
Yeah, he's just like, he's obnoxious. Like, imagine.
Well, that's the thing is if you have everybody around you has unlimited funds and you have unlimited funds, you get to a point where a certain amount of money, pretty much you can try out everything you wanted to do in your life, cars, boats, whatever.
yeah.
Whatever you want, vacation. The only thing that holds any power is the ability to take it away from someone. So secrets of them, you have if you have something over their head, now we're in cahoots.
Right.
I know we're friends because you better be my friend.
Yeah, but he had cameras everywhere. So not only does he got
Himself,
he had video,
he's got himself.
but he got video of of everybody doing whatever they did.
Right.
Wasn't there like a?
That's what I'm saying.
He
The
had
whole
a
thing
party in the
we're talking about.
Hamptons.
Yeah.
Like every year there was like
Listen,
some big party.
some
in the
people
Hamptons.
say he's unbelievable. Like, you know what I mean? They
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is what are they trying to say was going on at these parties? Like I know there was backroom shit, but they're talking about these parties.
Listen, what's going on at some of the Cousin Stevens parties after the night hit to a certain point? You know what I'm trying to say?
Old
Never
Cousin
mind
Steven.
never mind if
Not
you
new cousin Steve.
that cousin Steven.
Yeah, his old life.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm trying to say. The one that
He's repented.
now
in a
now
serious
he's
relationship.
he's married now.
Yeah.
But I mean, my point is, imagine if he was Puff Daddy.
Yeah, no, imagine you don't even need to be fucking Puff Daddy. If you have the right amount of money,
Yeah.
and you go to Colombia, you go wherever the fuck you want. So,
boy.
so we covered space, time, travel. We covered trafficking.
And now everyone has a greater understanding of consciousness, I'm sure.
My daughter was born.
we talked
Your nieces. Your
My
niece.
niece. Your niece.
Nice. Yeah. Anyway, so we talked about her. We talked about space travel, time, flux capacitors.
That's
What
right.
else? We talked about there was something else.
Dude, that was my joke. We're all over the world. We literally went over, talked about so many different things.
Oh, the eclipse.
Oh, the eclipse, right?
We talked about the eclipse
Dave really
Briefly.
enjoyed it.
briefly. Yep. We talked about gave a little Puff Daddy.
A little Puff Daddy talk.
You don't have any video of that?
What
huh?
happened
No
at those
Diddy.
parties, Dave?
No
What?
Diddy.
No Diddy. What happened to those parties?
I don't know.
I wasn't invited.
No.
Me neither.
The Hamptons.
Thank you.
Everybody wore white.
Thank you. Yeah.
What they used to call it, the white party or something like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited to that one either.
Yeah.
No, it's a bash, I heard. You just had to listen. I guess the thing is you had to go early and leave early.
That's what they said.
No, I'm assuming this is in the today.
No, you go, show up late and leave early.
How does that work? Because then you're there for 5 minutes. You want to get there when the food.
And
You know what I'm saying? You go there kind of early.
with the food.
You get some of the food. You hang out. You see everybody before they're annihilated. Then before the
Is this just how you do parties in general?
No,
You
but
show up early, eat, get a good base going.
well, I would just normally just stay. But if I was going to a Puff Daddy party, I would not want to stay. I wouldn't want to be one of the last guys that night.
Yeah, now.
Hey, especially not now.
Right.
Even then,
Who is the rapper? What's that guy's name?
Meek Mill.
No, he's somebody like an unknown that was bringing a suit against one of the lawsuits against I guess they don't have enough to make it an R. Kelly case.
Yeah.
is
Right.
he even in custody yet? Has he been placed in custody
I don't
yet?
think so.
Right. So that stuff right there is kind of weird.
Yeah, but it took a documentary in like 10 years before they went after R. Kelly.
Yeah, but they went to his house and raided his house. If they went and did that the
Yeah.
way they did that, they must have had something.
Well, maybe he got rid of all the video.
Or maybe they really went there just to take all the video.
Right,
Yeah,
but
but
maybe
he
they
left.
got
He
it.
left before they got there. So no matter what,
That's how
he
powerful.
wiped everything.
Hey,
He
that's
took
right.
everything.
If he knew at a
Oh
time.
no, he wouldn't wipe it.
No, he
take it.
probably
Yeah.
just took it with him on his
Take
plane.
everything.
Right.
On the laptop.
Right. So they were talking about how his plane landed in Antigua.
He wasn't on it.
Right. But you know what was on it?
His laptop.
Everything that he has evidence of people on
Wow.
with.
So where did
You know?
he land?
I don't. The last thing
I'm
I saw
not
was he
following
was.
it that closely.
No, I see 50 just constantly posting stuff. And I just think it's funny in that sense. I hope, it's fucked up. It's a fucked up thing. But
Yeah, but they're on the like he was on with who's that guy that has a great show? Oh well, I mean I don't know how I don't really watch it, but it's popular. He's a black guy. He has a radio show or a podcast or whatever it is. It's Charlemagne. Some of the clips of 50 Cent talking about Diddy, they're fucking funny.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking for. One of them.
Yeah.
But that was before all this came out. He was talking about it. He was,
maybe
had stories about him.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's been at some of the parties.
Well, whatever.
Maybe
yeah,
he left early.
early.
That's what you got.
No, I think he said something
Moral
like
of the story is,
You don't
Leave
he ain't
early?
playing like that.
yeah,
He would never step to 50 Cent.
no way. I was thinking about how great the first album was.
which one?
Get Rich or Die
50
Trying.
Cent?
Yeah. In
I
the
don't-
club.
what was on there
Hey,
besides?
when in the it was a lot of them. I wish I could
I know. I can't. Yeah, you can't remember him. That's how good it was.
hate it or love it, the underdog. No, that's not that one. But that's a great one too. He did that one with the other guy.
That's a good record. The Game.
Yeah.
But I thought Dre was
Yeah.
produced that too,
I
right?
watched a thing about Dre where all his hits, what
Yeah.
song they were originally from, and I couldn't believe that they were all samples from the 70s of really songs that no one would ever know.
Well, no, you knew some of them. I mean, they weren't that
Maybe
obscure.
you did, but,
Yeah.
but nobody in the generation of people that he was making these hits for.
We
knew
didn't
them.
know Slave. Gin and Juice is Slave.
Okay, what about all the other ones? I watched the thing. It was literally everyone was like,
Let Me Ride is a Parliament.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, I think so.
No, it is.
Yeah, but so it was pretty impressed. So I don't
gonna
know.
be a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
try
editing.
some. Ready? Like and subscribe. Supposedly, that does something where it comes on the screen. We'll see if it works or not. I don't know. I don't know.
Pretty
well,
fancy.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah. Bye.